So welcome to Dnyanjyoti Education. Today we are going to understand about UPSC examination. We are going into details that what is the eligibility, what is the pattern of the examination, and in which language you can appear, and we are definitely going to understand what should be our general strategy. Okay, so whenever we are starting this examination, any newcomer who is going to go for civil services as a career need to go through an examination which is called as UPSC. UPSC is that examination which is one of the most important and one of the toughest examination in this country, where you are going to become an officer such as IAS, IPS, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Railway Trafficking Services. Okay, so let us understand the eligibility, the exam pattern, and the preparation strategy for this exam. Okay, now first of all, you need to understand that if I take a notification of from 2025's official advertisement, then what are the different criteria that UPSC is putting? And the first thing is, let us understand what is the age limit of this examination. Okay, so any person who belongs to general categories can give this examination from up to 32 years. Okay, the minimum age requirement is 21 years. So from 21 to 32, and the birth date is taken, not your birth date, but it is taken August month, you should be between 21 to 32. So understand, whenever you go for the examination, your age criteria should be actually understood, that what is going to be your age in the month of August of that year when the official notification is released. Okay, person who are belonging to SC and ST definitely have an relaxation of 5 years, and they can go for the examination up to 37 years of their age. A person who is belonging to other backward classes, especially a non-creamy layer, has a 3 years relaxation and can appear for this examination after up to 35 years. So 32 plus 5, 37, and 32 plus 3, 35 years is the age relaxation given. Okay, defense service and personnel are definitely also given a plus 3 relaxation, so they even have an age group of age a limit of 35 years. A person who is belonging to servicemen, okay, if he is retired, then definitely he or she also has a relaxation of 5 years, so their age limit is 37. Any services with extended services can have 5 years, and definitely person with benchmark disability has an age relaxation of 10 years and can appear this examination up to 42 years. So from 32 years to the relaxation age, these are the different age criteria that a person can definitely understand. Okay, now let us understand what is the eligibility, what is the minimum educational qualification that is required. Let us understand it through official notification. Okay, so minimum educational qualification, so a person should have a graduation degree. Okay, it should be under the universities incorporated by act of central and state legislature in India. So कोई भी कैंडिडेट जो सेंटर और स्टेट के रिकॉग्नाइज्ड यूनिवर्सिटी है या उस एक्ट के अंदर जो यूनिवर्सिटीज बनाई हैं उसके अंदर if he is doing any kind of graduation, he is eligible. Okay, you do not need to be from a particular stream. आपको बस इंजीनियर, डॉक्टर या BA, BCom ऐसा नहीं होना है. You can be from any field. Okay, then institutions established by act of parliament, universities deemed under UGC Act. Okay, so any graduation from deemed university is also done, is also allowed. An equivalent qualification recognized by government of India, if from at all these institutions you are actually doing a graduation, you would be eligible. So basic eligibility to appear for this examination is a graduation degree, and the graduation degree should be from this institutions. Okay, any person who is appearing graduation, okay, if he is in his last year, he can even give the examination. Okay, eligible if awaiting results of appearing for the final qualifying examination, but he must produce a proof of passing before the interview and personality test. Okay, see, our examination is going to be there in 3 stages. There is going to be a prelims, there is going to be a second stage which is called as mains, and there is going to be a third stage which is a personality test, which is also known as interview stage. Okay, so if a person have not completed his graduation, he can appear for prelims, mains, but before his interview comes, if he becomes eligible for interview, then before this interview he must produce his passing or provisional passing certificate of graduation degree. That is what you have to understand. Okay, so valid proof of qualification, another instructions are given. Degree certificate, final mark sheet or a provisional degree certificate is going to be a valid proof for graduation. Okay, MBBS, BDS and veterinary science candidate should submit proof of internship completion. Okay, because as a part of their curriculum, a medical graduate student has to undergo 1 year internship, and after his completion of internship or his some proof of internship completion should be present if he is definitely going for the interview. Okay, UPSC may allow candidates without standard qualification if their examination is equivalent to any standard institution. It's an exception. Professional technical qualification recognized by government are even valid. So engineers, any other type of technical professional qualification is definitely valid proof for a UPSC examination. MBBS and medical degree holders can apply without completing internship, but they must submit proof of final professional examination clearance, and internship completion proof is required for the interview. So this specific instructions are given for medical students. That is what you have to understand. So one thing we have to make clear, that whenever we are going to appear for an UPSC examination, any kind of graduation, it may be from open university, it may be a regular graduation, it may be a distance learning, any graduation is going to be valid if you are definitely taking civil services as an career. Okay, further moving on, now there is one major misconception that when we give UPSC examination, we are actually becoming IAS IPS only. Okay, so this is not the case. If you see the list of the services, you can understand that when you give for UPSC examination, in a total you are having 23 services as of now. That is, in 2025's notification, how many services are there? 23 services is what you are going to be eligible for if you qualify the final interview stage. Then you would be, according to your rank, you would be eligible to work for this 23 services. Okay, now see, the most important, the topmost services that all the aspirants strive for is the All India services. All India services include the IAS, the Indian, I would say here it should be Indian Forest Service, it should be Indian Forest Service and the Indian Police Service. Okay, Indian Foreign Service is not an all India service, it's an central service. Okay, then some services are there which can be grouped under accounts, finance, services. Okay, so here is the list, you can understand. Then some services are there which are corporate and trade services. Then some services can be related to defense and security services. Some services are postal services. Then there is another important service which is a railway service. There are two services that are related to railways, and there are some services that are related to union territories and civil services, especially in the union territories, okay, such as Delhi, Andaman Nicobar, Diu Daman, Pondicherry, civils and their police services. So I have grouped this 23 services into few categories so you can understand the most prestigious being two services, All India Services, Indian IS and Indian Police Services, and there is third service also which is Indian Forest Services, and for this services you definitely need to go for a different mains examination, okay. So this service are going to be common services, and there is another prestigious services which is Indian Foreign Services. This foreign services is an central services that is definitely an option that you can definitely go for once you actually clear the mains, okay. So how many services does the Indian Civil Services examination provide us? So there are 23 services through which we can definitely see our career in, okay. Now further let us understand the pattern of the examination. Now we know that our examination is divided into three categories. The category three stages A, B and the C. The first stage is the preliminary services, the preliminary examination, okay. When I say preliminary, that is the prelims, it is basically known as. Then second stage is the mains examination, okay, and the third stage is the PT or the personality test. So these are the three stages in which we are going to appear our examination. Now the very first stage, which is the prelims, okay. So when I talk about prelims or preliminary examination, you need to understand in prelims you are going to face two papers. This examination is totally an objective multiple choice question based examination, okay. Here you don't have to write anything. You have to go for the examination, you have to fill your roll number, and you just have to click the right option from the four given option, and this is how you are going to pass your prelims examination, which consists of two papers, okay. You appear, you give these two papers, okay. Now when the papers are evaluated, you need to understand the first paper that they are going to evaluate is the second paper, which is known as General Studies 2, which consists of 200 marks and which has 80 questions in total. Each question around 2.5 marks, okay. From this General Studies which paper 2, which is also known as Civil Service Aptitude Test, this CSAT paper is going to be an objective test, and out of 200 marks you just have to get 66 marks, okay. Once you get those 66 to 67 marks is what we can put the threshold for. Once you get the 67 marks, that's it, the work for this paper is done. Any marks above 67 are not going to be considered. You have to get a minimum 67 score, and therefore this paper is definitely going to be a qualifying paper, okay. How do you qualify this paper? Each question is going to fetch 2.5 correct marks, and each question, if it is wrong, then you are going to have a negative, that is around 33%, that would approximately be 0.9 marks that would be deducted, okay. So here we have a negative marking scheme. You appear, you give both the papers, but first thing evaluated is General Studies 2. If I score say 70 marks, it means I have qualified, then your paper 1 is taken for evaluation, else you get a result that you have not qualified CSAT, and the first paper is definitely something is not even considered, though you will get the marks after 1 year, but it is not considered however higher marks you get, okay. Say suppose I got 70 marks, now I have qualified the paper. Now I am going to go for paper 1, which is a General Studies paper 1, for which you are going to attempt around 100 questions, and here each question is going to be of 2 marks. And here also you have a negative, but a negative will be 33% of 2, that is approximately 0.7 marks will be deducted if you get the option wrong. So here also negative marking works, here also negative marking works. And GS1 is that paper where you have to score the maximum. Okay, approximately any person in this level of toughness, any person who is getting above 100 or 110 is definitely going for the mains examination. Okay, now suppose if I get a marks which is approximately 120, this would be a very good magical score. So once I qualified this 120 marks, then I'm definitely going for the mains examination. Okay, so let us understand that when we prepare for GS1, okay, what are the different points that we have to prepare. Okay, so different points or the official syllabus says that you need GS1 preparation that is based on current events of national and international importance. Second, you have to include history of India. History of India includes ancient, medieval, modern and Indian national movement, which is approximately the modern Indian national struggle. Then you will have to prepare geography, and geography will include India and world geography, which will consist of physical. Physical will consist of geomorphology, climatology and oceanography and even biogeography. Then we have social geography, economics geography of India and the world. Okay, this would be the next third point. Fourth point that you need to prepare is you have to prepare for Indian polity and governance constitution. Then you have to prepare for political system of India. Then you have to prepare Panchayat Raj, and then you have to prepare for public policy and rights issue, etc. It means you have to get ready for polity and governance as a topic and a paper as whole. Then definitely fifth point is something where you have to prepare a subject that is called as economics. Okay, when I talk about economics, you have to understand economic and social development, sustainable development, issues like poverty, inclusion, demographic, social sector initiatives, etc. Okay, then you definitely need to prepare general issues on environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change that do not require subject specialization. Okay, so these are the general issues that you have to prepare, and definitely there is going to be general science. So when you prepare the 7 points, you are going to now appear prelims paper 1, and 100 questions are going to be based on these guidelines, on this syllabus. That is what you have to understand. Okay, once you are thoroughly prepared, then only you need to appear this examination. Okay, so once I go for the prelims, suppose I get a qualifying marks, say hypothetically I am considering that I get 120 marks, then I am going for the next stage, and the next stage is going to be the mains examination. Okay, so when I talk about this mains examination, now you have to understand that this mains examination is a merit based stage. Okay, because once you get prelims qualified, then you are going for mains, then the task of prelims is over. This prelim score after the first stage is cleared is never going to be considered in any of the stage. Okay, now when you go for the mains, then mains consist of paper which is going to be descriptive in nature. What do you understand by descriptive? Yes friends, you need to write answers. This is the stage where each and every serious aspirant struggles for, so that he get the topmost rank and he get the topmost service that he desires for. Okay, how many papers are going to be there? So there are going to be total 9 papers that we are just going to see shortly. Let us understand this examination. So once you go for this examination, you need to understand that this 9 papers will consist of 2 papers that are qualifying in nature. Which are these 2 papers? See, first would be an Indian language from all the 8 schedule. The list is given. Some group is even exempted to appear for this paper, but any person belonging to any state need to opt for one Indian language which is basically their native language, or which is basically the language they have studied till standard 12th. Okay, and one would be a compulsory paper that everyone in this India needs to write. It would be an English paper, and this two paper will consist of 300 marks. That is what you have to understand. Okay, so this is overall the structure of the examination. What I have told you, that first thing is any regional language. Say basically a person from Maharashtra would go for Marathi, or a person from Bengal would go for Bengali, a person from any other Uttar Pradesh would go for Hindi, from Odisha would be going for Odia language. So any regional language you have to pick, and you have to opt it in the form filling itself. Okay, so this paper will be 300 marks, and one paper would be 300 marks. These two papers you have to score approximately 25% and above, that is approximately 75 marks and above, because these two papers are only qualifying in nature. If you go for the mains examination, you write all the 9 papers, but first paper that are evaluated are this two languages paper. And once they give this result, then if you qualify, definitely your other papers will be evaluated. But if you don't qualify, then your other papers are not evaluated, and you are disqualified from the mains examination. Then these two papers are not at all, I am repeating, not at all considered for your final merit list. The only task for this two paper is that you qualify, and once you qualify, then these are the papers, these three sections are the sections which I would say would be deciding your merit. Okay, so these are the merit based paper. Now let us see what do we write in the merit based paper. The first thing, or the first block, is general studies paper, and in this general studies paper there are 4 papers, that is GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4, that you are going to write, and this 4 papers will be each of 250 marks. Okay, so how many papers you are writing for general studies? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, what is the name of the first paper? The first paper is Indian Heritage and Culture, History, Geography of the World and Society. Then GS2 is something that is related to polity, governance, constitution, social justice and international relation is the name. The detailed syllabus of these papers are given in UPSC official notification. Then you have paper GS3, which consists of technological points, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. And GS4 is related to ethics, integrity and aptitude paper, which is another important paper for your qualification. So your examination of general studies will consist of 4 papers, and this paper are common for everyone. Okay, when your paper will be evaluated? After you have qualified. Okay, and this syllabus is in detail provided in official notification. You have to keep in that mind. Then there is a paper which is essay paper, which is again going to be for 250 marks, and in this essay paper you have to write 2 essays. Each essay is going to be 125 marks. So definitely this paper is there for 250 marks. Total GS will be for 1000 marks, 250, 250, 250, 250. Essay would be for 250 marks, and then there is a list of optional that has been provided in UPSC, and this list of optional, you have to understand, is going to be something that you have to write. So there is a list of optional provided by UPSC, and from the list of optional you have to pick any one optional, and that one optional should be prepared for 500 marks. It will consist of 2 paper, paper 1 and paper 2. So 500. So if I make the total 1000 plus 500, 1500 plus 250, that is the merit that is going to be decided is 1750. Understand this well. because in the 1750 I am not considering qualifying paper. The paper only you have to qualify, and you have to understand that whenever my merit is decided for the next stage, and which is going to be the next stage, that is the personality test interview. So 1750 is something that I am going to struggle for, and the top 3000 to 3500 students who qualify with maximum marks from the 1750 is going for the next stage, that is going to be your personality test. Okay, then if you understand, there are some important notifications, some important instructions given by UPSC. Let us go through them one by one. Optional subject is to be selected from the list of optional. You have to choose only one. Say for example, if I pick history, then history will consist of paper 1 and paper 2. Just understand, these two papers are not different. This would be, if I choose history as my optional, then history is paper 1 and history paper 2. This detailed syllabus is also given in official notification. Like general studies detailed syllabus is given in official notification, definitely history optionals and any other, all the optional is detailed syllabus is given in the notification that you have to prepare for. Okay, qualifying paper, that is regional language paper, any Indian language and any English language, you have to get minimum how many marks? 25%, that is approximately 75 and 75 plus. Then evaluation of essay, GS optional paper will be evaluated if both the papers are qualified. If you do not qualify, definitely you get your result as not qualified for the mains examination, because you have not got the approximate marks or not got the minimum required marks in your language. Okay, paper A, that is a regional language, is exempted to certain states disabilities and needs an undertaking, because our few states in northeast is exempted from it, but most of the people definitely need to go for this paper. Then paper 1 to 8, that is essay, GS optional, determines the ranking. Of course, in the final selection, that 1750 score is also calculated. Okay, and UPSC sets qualifying marks, language script, prescribed script for chosen language. All this prerogative of what should be the criteria is definitely decided by UPSC. Now further moving, in which language you can definitely write the answers. Now see, UPSC question paper, either it may be for prelims or either it may be for mains, appear in only two languages. That is, question paper will be either in English or Hindi. Okay, क्वेश्चन पेपर किस में आएगा? क्वेश्चन पेपर आएगा हिंदी में आएगा यूपीएससी का, या क्वेश्चन पेपर आएगा इंग्लिश में, दोनों लैंग्वेज में आता है। इसके अलावा कोई क्वेश्चन पेपर कोई दूसरे लैंग्वेज में नहीं आता। ओके, दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड। बट स्टूडेंट कैन राइट एन आंसर इन विच लैंग्वेजेस, उसका भी क्राइटेरिया नोटिफिकेशन में दिया है। ओके, सो स्टूडेंट जो देवनागरी की स्क्रिप्ट है, हिंदी, कोंकणी, मराठी, नेपाली, संस्कृत, बोडो, डोगरी, मैथिली, सिंधी और संथाली, इनमें आंसर्स लिख सकता है जिसकी स्क्रिप्ट देवनागरी है। ओके, सवाल भले ही इंग्लिश और हिंदी में आ जाए, आप इसमें जवाब लिख के दे सकते हो। ओके, सिर्फ इंग्लिश का पेपर इंग्लिश में ही लिखना पड़ेगा, बाकी सारे पेपर्स आपको इस लैंग्वेज में लिखने पड़ते हैं। ओके, इसके साथ आप इंग्लिश भी लिख सकते हो, वो तो है ही, लेकिन इंग्लिश के अलावा आप सारा इस लैंग्वेज में आंसर लिख सकते हो। या फिर जिन लैंग्वेज की खुद की स्क्रिप्ट है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आसामीज, बंगाली, गुजराती, कन्नड़, मलयालम, ओडिया, पंजाबी, तमिल और तेलुगु, इन लैंग्वेज, इन भाषाओं में भी आप आंसर्स लिख सकते हो। लेकिन इंग्लिश का पेपर, कौन सा इंग्लिश का, जो क्वालिफाइंग पेपर है, उसको इंग्लिश में ही लिखना पड़ेगा। या फिर पर्शियन स्क्रिप्ट में आपको कश्मीरी, उर्दू ये दिखाई देगा, या तो फिर लैंग्वेजेस विद स्क्रिप्ट जैसे मणिपुरी, बंगाली और मैती है, सिंधी, उसके बाद संथाली जिसकी भाई देवनागरी या ओलीचिक की स्क्रिप्ट है, ये भी आप लिख सकते हो। ओके, सो ये भी आपको यूपीएससी के ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट में दिख जाता है। ओके, उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा है कि जब आप थर्ड स्टेज में जाओगे पीटी में, सो आपका क्वालिफाइंग क्या डिसाइड करेगा, मेंस में 1750 मार्क डिसाइड करेगा, और जो इंटरव्यू स्टेज है वो 275 यानी 225 में आपका रैंक दिया जाएगा। 225 में कितना मिलता है उसमें से आपका रैंक डिसाइड होगा। और ये 1750 कौन से हैं, सिर्फ मेरिट बेस्ड के पेपर है, क्वालिफाइंग मार्क्स के पेपर यहाँ पे नहीं है। पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट में यूपीएससी ने कहा है हम क्या देखेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू इंटरव्यू सुटेबिलिटी फॉर पब्लिक सर्विस। क्या देखेंगे, मेंटल कैलिबर, सोशल ट्रेट्स, करंट अफेयर्स, इंटरेस्ट देखेंगे। क्या देखेंगे, मेंटल अलर्टनेस, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्लियर एक्सप्रेशन, बैलेंस्ड जजमेंट, डाइवर्स इंटरेस्ट, सोशल स्किल्स, लीडरशिप, इंटीग्रिटी, ये देखेंगे। क्या देखेंगे, नेचुरल डायरेक्टेड कंजर्वेशन, नॉट क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन, इन टेक्निक्स का इस्तेमाल करेंगे। इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ नॉलेज टेस्ट, क्योंकि नॉलेज तो उन्होंने मीन्स में दिखा है, रिटन एग्जामिनेशन हैव ऑलरेडी असेस्ड इट। और एक्सपेक्टेड इंटरेस्ट देखेंगे, स्पेशल सब्जेक्ट, करंट इवेंट्स, लोकल, नेशनल, ग्लोबल, मॉडर्न थॉट एंड न्यू डिस्कवरीज के बारे में क्या जानता है बच्चा, इसके बारे में ये थोड़ा सा टेस्ट करेंगे। इट्स ए ब्रॉड गाइडलाइन कि आप ऐसे अपने आप को रेडी करो जब आप पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट के लिए जाते हो। ओके, और पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट के पास जो आपके टोटल मार्क्स होंगे, लगभग 55% मार्क्स जिसको मिलते हैं वो बच्चा ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1 लाता है। तो इतने मार्क्स आपको अपने बेंचमार्क के लिए टारगेट रखने हैं। ओके, नाउ एक जनरल स्ट्रेटेजी क्या हो यूपीएससी के लिए, अगर जाए तो जनरल स्ट्रेटेजी क्या हो। सबसे पहले याद रखे कि व्हेनेवर यू गो फॉर यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन, स्टार्ट योर प्रिपरेशन एटलीस्ट 1 year or 1.5 years before your targeted year. Okay, now see, whenever this examination is conducted, एग्जामिनेशन की प्रोसेस होने के लिए भी 1 साल लग जाता है। उसके पहले 1 साल आपने स्टार्ट करना है, ताकि आपको 2 साल तो डेडिकेटेड इस प्रोसेस में रहना ही रहना है, ये आप सबसे पहले डिसाइड कर लो। ओके, नाउ सबसे पहले what you have to do is analyze the syllabus thoroughly. Okay, now analysis of syllabus can be done by 2 ways. First, you can either analyze by yourself, or you can definitely go for our videos which we are going to put up in our YouTube channel. एक एक syllabus का point detailed में हर expert faculty ने बताया। स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन बिल्ड करेंगे थ्रू एनसीईआरटीज, स्टार्ट विद बेसिक टू टेक्स्ट बुक। ओके, अंडरस्टैंड एग्जाम कैसी है, सरकारी गवर्नमेंट एग्जामिनेशन है, सो सोर्स भी कैसे होने चाहिए, सरकारी। इसीलिए एनसीईआरटी आर डेफिनेटली अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशनल थिंग दैट you need to have your hold on. Focus on conceptual clarity, prioritize understanding over remote memorizing. This examination is definitely of memorization, but memorization will come after your analytical understanding, because you have to handle a district. You need a broad analysis, you need to understand the things, connect the dots, understand that everything is there with one connection. That is what is analysis based on. Stay updated with current affairs, read regularly newspaper, magazine and online sources. Definitely this examination is going to test you through your question. Prelims is objective, you have to practice. Mains is descriptive, you have to practice. And definitely there should be an efficiency, so you need to regular revision. Okay, after you are done with your studies, then what is the thing that you have to do is practice mock from any coaching classes, from anything that you can find. So definitely take mock test so that your speed, accuracy and exam temperament is tested. And answer writing skill should focus on structure, clarity and presentation for the mains. Create a structured study plan so that you understand, evaluate strengths and weaknesses, because this examination is about self introspection. You need to understand. Okay, so when you understand this, then only you will be able to see that you have prepared this exam thoroughly. Okay, then this is what is broad guidelines. Understand if you have any query, we do provide mentorship for in our institution, which is Dnyanjyoti Education. Okay, so once you are once you have decided, you can definitely call us up, and we do provide mentorship so that student can have a directed student can have a directed approach toward this examination. Understand, this examination is a 1 year process. Okay, see, approximately form comes in February. May say for example February 2025 is the year when the form will appear. Then May is the month where prelims is going to be there, May 2025. Then around August, September we are having mains, and around next April, that is 2026, you are definitely going to be for your interview, after which you are going to qualify as an officer. Before this, a person, a student, an aspirant who wants to go this through this process successfully needs to start from 2024, and this is how the long 2 year journey is there. And this journey should be a structured journey, it should be a planned journey, and definitely if you need any help, then you can call us up on the number which is actually appearing in the description box or in this video. Okay, so all the best for your preparation, and definitely you should watch and subscribe to our channel so that you can visit and understand different videos. So thank you everyone.